Welcome to the Leadership Launchpad Project. I'm Rob Kalwarowsky, and always the yin to my yang is here, Susan Hobson. Susan, how are you?
I am excellent, fired up about our guest. So let's go. Let's get him started, shall we?
Yeah, we absolutely will. And first off, we got to start off with a quote. And I actually have this one. This is a quote from our guest, which it makes it even better.
How fun is that?
And he says, everything is possible if you're willing to work for it.
Yeah.
And I love that. I wanted to start with that. Well, one is obviously we have a special guest, but also it's the mindset of being able to be confident in ourselves and understanding that we can learn and work and applying that growth mindset to anything we want to do or become. And I think that's ultimately, that's what we talk a lot about here in the Leadership Launchpad is, failure's feedback, and we can learn and grow into the leader we want to become. And so we obviously had to start there. Now, of course, we have a special guest with us. He's the founder of GSM Growth Agency. He has a podcast as well on e-commerce and business streaming. He's won 4 times the award. You can actually see him on the wall if you're watching this on YouTube, of the 2 Comma Club, which means that the online sales that he's done were over $1 million each. And he's a fellow Ukrainian, but living in Portugal now. We can get into this. Anatoliy Labinskiy is with us. Anatoliy, how are you?
Hey guys, Rob and Susan, I really appreciate you to having me here for the invitation. And I'm doing great, seriously excited for this podcast to share with the audience, as much as I can, skills, maybe some kind of golden nuggets or just mindset, feedback about, as you just mentioned, the quote. I love to share the past. I love to share the knowledge which I have just to motivate people to do something what they don't understand yet, what they're capable of. And just small correction, this is 4 millions made in ClickFunnels itself. So far we made 22 millions in Shopify as well. So just just adding from my side.
That's right.
I feel like that's where we want to go first with you, Anatoly, is just what is this whole growth agency world about and how did you end up there? Tell us a little bit about your backstory here.
Wow. Okay. I will try to be as short as possible because my backstory, it's over 2 hours, but I will be sharp about it to finish on the moment where I am at the moment. So basically I'm Ukrainian, as you mentioned, and grow up in the average family with average financial problems. My mom and father got divorced, and from 13-year-old, I start working in different works so together with school, with university, just to have some kind of pocket money and plus helping my mom with the mortgage, with the car loans and so on. I grew up, nothing was changing, everything was going just deeper and deeper into the loans, into the credit cards, especially because of education. And I made decision just I have to do something in my life. I never been abroad, I never had that chance, I didn't speak English, I never leave my home city. So I was a really simple guy from the small city. And I got the opportunity to go to Dubai. I passed the interview, I was almost dancing in Skype just to show up that this is who I am. I cannot speak English, but at least let me show myself. It was ridiculous and embarrassing, most probably. I wish to watch that recording. I would be laughing now, most probably.
I love that.
But the thing is that I remember my friend was staying next to the camera. Nobody was seeing her, and she speak English. So she was translating and she was helping me to understand what's going on. Anyway, I got the opportunity to go to UAE, first city, Abu Dhabi. It was I have a master's degree in finance. I used to work in the bank, after that in private sector in the sales. I was making quite okay money, but because of the loans and mortgage and all the things, I was always in the rat race all the time, every single month. In the young age, it's not fun. And I went to UAE just to make some extra income and sent to my mom to help her out. And basically, I accept the job as a food runner. It's like person who taking the dirty plates from the tables in the restaurant and bring that to the washing area. It's kind of not what I was like studying for, let's say, but I was happiest guy ever. Like I'm traveling around the world. Like I have seen some like UAE, no way, seriously, like Abu Dhabi and the restaurant in the middle of the Formula One circle, so it was quite fun experience. Cipriani restaurant, so it's already long. I will go shorter. I got married 2014, and I was all this journey in Dubai from 2013 till 2017. It was to switch hospitality to something else. Study English, trying to get the better income job, and plus it's supposed to be something like a management, sales, business development, and so on. Nothing was work out, especially English level wasn't that good. And plus, in the same time, like everything was always against me. I was thinking that way, that like whatever I'm trying to pass on cabin crew, I'm failing. I'm trying to pass on the even pass boy in the office, I'm failing. Accountant, salesperson, always like I sent over 10,000 resumes, which is CVs, and none of them were like I was able to get the job. And finally, so I got married. I moved to Dubai. I started working in different restaurants where is a bit better income. And me and my wife were staying in the small master bedroom room where we were like sharing with other Filipino couple. So like 2-bedroom apartments, 2 families rented, and we were not able to rent for ourselves even studio because like it was too expensive for us. And like my wife was every single night crying about Dubai, about our life, because like I was moving all the time and changing the job quite often, just because I was trying to get better. But at the end, like I was just bringing us down, because there is a contracts, which is you need to pay the fines and all the stuff every single time when you don't follow the contract and reject this contract. So I always was paying 2 months salary, with 1.5 months salary, 3 months salary, like which I never had. So I was borrowing money from the friends who are staying on the same line, in the same place, and I was moving and bring ourselves in the deeper financial problems. But I knew that like there is something different waiting for me, because like I'm not able just to stay like this on the floor in the restaurant and just like not thinking about anything. I was dreaming every single minute when I'm not busy. I was dreaming. I was analyzing people, wealthy people who are coming, because it was high level restaurants. Like, what are they doing in life? How they were able to become where they are right now. I was analyzing. I was asking them questions. I was having conversations. One time, I even almost sold rubies from Iraq to UAE sheikh, just because like I met one congressman from United States who illegal brought the rubies to UAE and he need to sell them. We start integrate our conversation. I said, no worries, I'll handle it. And I sold it. I mean, I was able to find in 2 days, in 1.5 days, I was finding this the buyer. It's ridiculous. I don't know how I done it, but it's seriously, I found the buyers. We already made a meeting. And after that, the congressman just was scared that he will be screwed up. And he said, no, I will take it with me to United States to figure it out how to sell it there. So it was like super short. There was a lot of ridiculous moments in my life where I was trying to do something out of the box, out of ordinary, just to bring myself in the better financial position. But obviously everything it's in the right manner, not stealing or whatever. It was, I was a salesman. Like I was like, I know that I can sell whatever I can, just give me something to sell. So finally got a job in the separate company, in a different company out of hospitality, but lower income. So we are becoming even in better, worse condition. But I said to my wife, please trust me. We need to sacrifice now. We need to like squeeze our tooths and just like wait for a bit, because I need that to remove from my resume the hospitality and like moving on like to the better positions. You know, the thing is that I never thought about entrepreneurship, never ever. And like I was thinking that the most wealthier life I can build is just like working as a manager, a supervisor, manager, head of department, like CEO, let's say. And I was thinking this is like the way of the success, the security and good income. But at the end, when I used to work in hospitality. I started to work in the private companies in Dubai. I understood that so much lie is there. What is not on the papers, what is not in email, it's a lie. So I got to really so much screwed up situation where I was trusting people, but the back end, nobody paid me commission, nobody gave me promotion, what they believe, like during the year was promising. So on the words, nothing is means, but if you sign the contract, you sign the contract and you are screwed, especially in Dubai. So like, and I'm not blaming. It's fine. It was my decisions. So I'm taking responsibilities of all my decisions and my mistakes. But the thing is that we becoming worse and worse in finances. And now 2017, this is the moment where I'm bringing you 2017, February to 24th, my wife coming in the room and start crying and sit down in the couch and saying to me that she's pregnant. And I understand that she is crying not because of happiness. She is crying because she really scared we are not able to manage. In UAE, if she would lose the job because of pregnancy, we'll lose her insurance. Insurance, if it's no insurance, up to $10,000 delivery. I never hold those cash in my hands. Never. I don't know how they look like, this $10,000. And like I got scared a bit, but I said to her, no worries, let me go in the pharmacy to get another test and find out like if there is something, if everything is correct, if we are really pregnant. And I went to the pharmacy and just it was plus 35 degrees, super hot weather outside. Like it's Dubai, and I'm staying next to the pharmacy and just stuck. Like my knees are shaking, like my arms are shaking. I'm like I cannot control myself. Like I have a panic attack. And after that, I'm just staying for a couple of minutes and I squeeze my arms and just said to myself, I will not allow my baby to come in the same financial position where I am today. And those words were the strongest words which I ever said to myself, ever. And I didn't know what does it mean. I didn't know how I'm going to be making more. I was thinking about labor work, about like several part-times, which I start doing, like waiter on the villas, waiter in the nightclubs during my daily work. Like I start doing a lot of part-times, even Bollywood movie shootings and Middle East commercial shootings, photo shootings. I start doing really kind of different part-times and start making a bit more money. But like my wife lost the job and we made the hard decision to move her to Ukraine. It was super embarrassing that I cannot handle the adult guy. After 4 years in Dubai, I have to bring my wife to Ukraine because I'm not able to pay any single bill. And unfortunately, she left from one side. Unfortunately, from another side, this allows me like more time and freedom to do something. So I moved to the 2-bedroom apartments with 7 other guys there, just to rent bed space, not even room, just a bed space there, and start learning online what is there, what's kind of opportunities I can find. And I found out the book Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it's completely switched my mind. This book changed my mentality forever. And 2 months ago I met Robert Kiyosaki in person. We had conversation, and for me it was mind-blowing because I remember how I'm driving in the car and listening his audiobook, and now I'm next to him, like
full circle moment.
It's a huge moment for me. Like seriously, it's for me it was a huge moment. And the thing is that he changed my mentality, he changed my understanding of living, that I supposed to become entrepreneur. Like I cannot to be an investor, I cannot be just like a manager or whoever. I was thinking to myself, to build the wealth, I cannot just work into someone else. I have to work for myself. So it means I have to become entrepreneur. What does it mean, entrepreneur? I couldn't even, for first couple of months, I couldn't even pronounce this word. Seriously,
I love it.
I was like like businessman. Like I was making easy businessman.
I love it.
So yeah, and like I started, okay, what's gonna be happening? Let's find out what's working, what's not. And I got some ad, which is, I didn't know what does it mean, advertising on Facebook. I didn't know anything about it, and I just like went through that ad, and there was saying the like guy who doesn't speak English from China moved to United States, was washing plates. I'm like, what, wait, it's so close to me, you know. It's a
The
great ad,
algorithm
I
was
would
good
say.
back then.
Exactly. So it's a great ad to catch people like me who are broke and wants to get some kind of success in life. And I'm like, no way. And I still dumb. I don't know anything about ads. For me, it's like, you know, like, like something coming from the sky.
Divine intervention. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and I like press on that and start reading the book starting from zero and by Fred Lam. And that book was like starting from zero, start your Shopify dropshipping store with less than with $100 investment. I just removed the $100 investment because it's bullshit. I don't believe it. But everything else, like I'm wondering to what is all about. And I start reading and I understanding how Facebook ads are actually working. And I'm like, no way. Seriously? Like I was reading every single page, like with such a big like impact on me, and I was like feeling aha moment. Like for me was doesn't matter what to do in life, the most important income. This is what I was always focusing on. I never had the like I wish to have a goal and vibe to do something what I want to do, but I never had. It's never been in my mind. It was only finances because I was financially fighting for the better like life position. But in that moment, I want to do advertising till end of my life. Like this is exactly like, you know, came on my mind, and no way, I'm gonna be make it happen. I don't know how, but I'm gonna be make it will happen. And this is where story begin. Like I lost everything what I saved on the Facebook ads. 29th of September, I opened my first Shopify store, mykitikadzone.com. And I start investing in ads, but I don't know at all what I'm doing. Seriously, like nothing. I didn't have a mentor. This is like the newbie's mistakes. Learning from thousands of people in YouTube and do not focus on one single person who you can trust the most, and listening to him and following his steps if he has already good enough trust and the records of the success before in an area where you want to be succeed. So listen to him and follow his steps, and this is what you need to do only. Follow the mentor. And I was just dumb enough and spent everything what I had. I start lying to my wife that I'm saving, but at the end I start borrowing money from my friends. Like delivery of my baby in October, to fly to Ukraine, I need to borrow some cash from friends to fly, and say to my wife, everything is good. Like, no worries, I'm saving. Give her $300 and say, everything fine. She said, what is that? I'm like, no worries. I'm just want to bring big cash later on. But at the end, again, completely broke, embarrassed after 5 years of being in UAE. I'm now have nothing behind. And I brought there my friends in UAE as well during these 5 years. And all of them start buying apartments in Ukraine, start traveling to Asia, some other countries. And I'm like broke, like worse than before. And now crypto show up, and I took credit card from the Islamic bank, and like $3,000 credit card I got approved for. I took that cash and put it in the crypto mining company. Mining company in a couple of months closed the door and screwed all of us and scam us. Another guy promised me $1 million in advertising to make if I allowed him to run my ads, and I paid him and I lost those money and he ran away. So like a lot of like dumb mistakes done, and I didn't have like cash. I was working on several part-times, and everything was on fail, but I had only one in my head: huge why I want to succeed. My why was strong enough to do not quit, and my why was my son. I had promised to myself, and I said to myself, I will make it happen because I found out finally what I want to do. And this is what was my mind. 99% always quitting. And only one are staying and winning. And I promised to myself that I said, I was talking to myself in the room, like, I cannot be that one person. It's not possible. It's not me. It's not about me. It's not my story. Like, I cannot be there. But after that, like, I don't care. I will be there. I don't know how. I have no other choice. And this is how I was talking to myself, like day by day, and never had thoughts about quitting. Everything was going so bad But always I was repeating to myself that I will figure it out. I will find out. I will be managing it. And finally, January, like end of January, like I find out, like I already was following some guy in Facebook, and he was trusted enough, and he was running like group coaching where he's helping advertisers and analyzing their ads and guiding them what to do. And it was $97 a month, and it was expensive for me. I said, no way, I cannot afford it. I already lost like several $1,000s, and I don't have anything. $97 a month, it's like huge. And after like a couple of weeks, I received a call from my friend. Have you seen Mark? Mark made a discount. What do you mean? Yeah, Mark will be till end of January running the special offer, 50% discount, $47 a month. Like $47 a month, still expensive, but I have to take a risk. I have to like give it a shot. 29th of January, I'm joining. He looking on my account. He's saying, "You long time ago already have potential winner in your algorithms doing XYZ." I like, no way. I didn't look even on simple things. He explained it to me, simple things. I was dumb enough, just like spending without even analyzing. I didn't know that I need to analyze that. I need to organize columns. I need to do simple things for simple like setup of advertisers. And I done what he said. The first night sales. I like, what's happening? Second night sales, 15 days in the training, $8,000 in profitable sales. I like, yes, it's working.
Jackpot.
It's working. I send it to my wife, the picture, like, look, 5,300, something like that, screenshot. Like, look what I made. She said, how much will you bring home? I said, no. You don't understand. It's a business. I have to bring back. I have to take back and reinvest and make it more. She said, stop it. I will divorce on you. Stop it. Stop doing that. She was thinking that I'm in kind of sector because she doesn't understand the business models. Yeah, exactly. And I was really like a gambling guy because I had like black eyes. I was sleeping 2 to 4 hours a day. Even during the year, 2 nights, I was sleeping only 40 minutes. Several times I almost had crash attack on the car or crash accident on the highway during the driving from these part times at night. I was exhausted. Like my friends were saying to me, you're sick, stop it, please. Like you look so bad. Like stop doing it. I'm like, yeah. Like you don't understand. And I wasn't sick. I was obsessed to get it done. So basically, I'm making my first results, and after that, I'm again failing, and after that, some small results coming in. So I already proved that it works. The most important for myself. And long story short, it's super short story, guys. Long story short, October, I'm coming back to Ukraine. I already making some money from dropshipping. I'm making some income from people who are close as a clients in UAE, like gym lead gen, coffee shop lead gen, beauty salon lead gen. So I start using my skills and understanding that I can make money from it. I don't need to stay anymore in Dubai. I moved back to Ukraine to my wife, to my son. In October, I start cooperating with one of my friends, and we decided, okay, let's try it. So we tried first month $50,000, second month 150. It's November, December 150 plus. March 2019, 250 plus, and so on. So we just start scaling. We just start already playing on different game, on different problems, much bigger problems. Everything what was past, it was nothing to compare to what we were having there. Like, for example, $200,000 supplier, like, lie us and never ship the products, and now we have a $200,000 value of the products never been shipped. Like, there was a lot of issues. So basically, become strong, was sharing all the journey in social media. And people start asking me because they knew who I am since like the background, because I was sharing all the fails from the beginning. I was sharing fails, and after that success, fails, small success, fails. And like they were seeing that I'm growing, and they were people who were like on back then in my Facebook, they were really like knew me as a person. And I was sharing like how I'm not sleeping, my part times, like, and I never quit, guys. I'm exhausted, but you have to believe in yourself. This was all motivational posts, motivation and storytellings in different Facebook groups. And I start meditating people. They will start texting to me, can you help me? Can you mentor me? I like, come on, seriously, like me. And I start like testing out for free to mentor one guy, another guy, and like I see results. It's replicatable. It's actually exactly working for people the same like it's working for me. And like basically I start to diving into the coaching for a couple of years, for 1.5 years actually, up to March 2020. And after that, I decided to switch to the agency because I realized one thing: then more control I have in advertising, then better results. Then less control, people just sometimes lazy, don't follow what I'm saying, for missing the calls. And this is what doesn't work that well as when I'm controlling, because during that time I was controlling a couple of ad accounts and we were able to scale one of the stores from 0 to 6.5 millions in a couple of years later on. So it's like was seriously like for me proven that if I have control, we can make the things better. March 2020, GSM Growth Agency has been created. I start hiring I had already one media buyer. We start hiring a couple of more media buyers, salespeople. In 3 months, we will grow from 2 people, me and my media buyer, to 12. By end of the year, 19. Next year, 44. And like we just were growing so fast. I was learning on the go what is SEO means, what is team management means, what is like managers itself, what are they doing, how to grow the managers. Like it was nightmare, but so fun nightmare. I was learning on the high speed because we had such a big attention and possibilities to close deals that we were just like pushing and learning. And back then, 2022 February, we like growing, and 2022 February 24th, war in Ukraine started, and several things, like not so, whole life just disappeared. And that is a separate story, like how I was able to cross the border through in Ukraine. But yeah, borders were closed, men cannot leave, and like my son was there, shelling is around, explosions are around, and like my sister-in-law calling us, there is a shelling on the phone, she's crying, kids are crying. And like I made the responsibility to bring my son, my wife, and by the way, my wife that moment was in Spain. I bought her gift for Valentine's Day to like tickets to Spain with her friends, just to like for weekend, and war started that moment.
Wow.
So like I'm alone, and like I promised to her that I will take care of the son and handle it whatever it takes. And as always, I knew that it's not possible, but I will make it possible. It was really incredible. But we done it. We like move ourselves to this secured area, and I start controlling my mom, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, kids. Like me was only one man and like 12 ladies I had to control and bring in Germany, bring in Switzerland, make sure that each of them are staying like in the social, like with social workers. So to arrange everything for them. And only after that, after 4 months managing that, finally I said to my wife, it's time to live for ourselves now. Now we have to think about our son, we have to think about us. And we choose Portugal to go here, to stay for a couple of years, to see what's going to be happening back home, because we just bought apartments. We love Ukraine. We want to be there. But life became before and after. And company obviously had the biggest months during the war at the beginning. After that, I had mental problems, plus this handling all the family things, and the results start fluctuating. And it's understandable. I knew that it will happen. Totally. I expect that. And we were going up and down, still fine and still actually good enough, but not like that kind of high speed how we were before. And after that, like it took half year of recovering, and now we are like on the new wave of scaling and going harder than ever before, and smarter and skilled, better clients, better projects. Like our people work, like the most important as well for me, when war started, majority of my media buyers are staying in Ukraine. And for me was the goal to save the company, to save the working spaces. Because during the war, the number one thing what is needed for guys, it's income, and it's like they are saved. and they need to be distracted from all that stuff which is happening at home and focusing on work. Actually, when first days of war started, they were working harder than ever before. Like, guys, come on, like, is it serious? Like, we had a with managers call after 2 days of everything happening. They said it's shocked, but all the guys are working hard. Like, how come? Tell them to relax. Tell them like to like handle the families. They said if they stop and working, they start panicking. So they just like focus on the work.
That makes sense.
It was incredible actually moment, and I would say that most of our team members right now, we are 31 team member, and most of the people working for almost 3 years in the company. Some of them more than 2, some of them from the beginning of the opening doors, and some of them almost 2 years. So like nobody like new. Like we really have team members who are like with us for long, because we are doing a lot to make their life better, and I really want to make as much as I can to improve their life again and again during the years. And during this whole journey, like this is all those awards, like during the hard work when we were scaling, I was able to get in ClickFunnels, several millions in the like lead generation and performance for the agency and other projects. We were able to become Forbes Business Council. We were able to, I was able this year, January 2023, July, in Broadway 25, in Cipriani restaurant, where I was where I was pass boy, where I was like as a food runner.
At the Formula One,
this year, after 10 years, 2023, 22nd July, I got this award, top 100 United States entrepreneurs with Ukrainian origins, in Cipriani, Broadway 25, New York. For me, it was like, oh my God,
circle is closed. Circle moment. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's
like 10 years, and after 10 years, it was so like, like oh my God, I was in Cipriani, and now I'm in Cipriani. Like, oh, so it was kind of a nice moment. My wife was seeing my face, and she was feeling like what my soul was going through, because for me it was achievement. Like, no way, 10 years ago I was cleaning the plates, and now I'm just speaking on the stage with the with the speech about like how honored I am to hold this kind of award. Yeah, so basically, the long story short, sorry for that. I was trying to pack that as much as possible, but sometimes if I avoid details, it's not showing that the journey is really like difficult. And I hold so many details from you guys to make it short, but there was so much pitfalls, which is most of the people are quitting because they lost couple of hundreds, couple of thousand, because they just lost opportunities, or like something have been broken. Like I made 8,000 and after that I lost everything. Most of the people would be quit because like, oh my, it doesn't work for me. This is what I noticed during the years of mentality of people when they start in something. And I understand that by sharing the story, I'm able to show that never ever it's going sweet. Never. Like I wish. But the business is always like, I recently give this example about Bitcoin graphics, you know, your business journey, it's exactly like that. You're going 10x and 15x down, 20x up, 10x down, and it's smoothly going this way. It's your journey to like in the business to success, you can call to the wealth, but in the business, if you're moving, it's fluctuation going, but it's always going higher. And sometimes you can drop down a lot like Bitcoin, but it's up to you if you're going to go up. And if you go up, you're going to be on the biggest level ever. And this is how I'm following my mindset, that we're able to manage everything. And really, sometimes it's incredible, difficult situations. But when I remember the days when war started, I remember I was driving the car, looking on my son back, and I was saying to myself, if I will manage this, nothing will be hard to me anymore in the business, because there was people dying. And here, like, if I manage like business problems, it's not a problem at all. That time I realized to myself, people don't know what is the real problems. Mm-hmm. I was scared. I had diarrhea. I had vomiting. I had because of the stress, which I never had in my life. When someone putting the gun into your face, when someone is just shouting on your kids, and there is a lot of soldiers and so on. Like when you experience that and overtake that, you understand that nothing in the business world is a real problem. Everything is manageable. Everything. After you seen kind of different, like unnice situations in life, and understanding that things can go even worse, you like, business is business. It's always full of problems. The thing is how we're gonna be react on it. And this is like where I made a difference. I start reacting on it like, okay, how we gonna handle it? Not like before I was running from angle to angle, from in the room from corner to corner. How we gonna handle? We won't able. But after that, I realized one thing: everything is manageable. So I'm super calm when we have some BS hard problem. I'm calm because I know that it's annoying, but we're gonna find out the solution, even if solution is not exist yet. Yeah.
Such an incredible journey. And I guess one question. So we have a lot of folks in our community that are scaling entrepreneurs. And I'd love if you had any advice for them about, like, as they're growing so quickly and they're trying to bring managers in or train people to be leaders, or like part of that whole journey, like what are some of the things you've learned when you were scaling so quickly to like bring that high performance team environment to your company?
It's a great question because it's the biggest bottleneck in the business when you start in business. Like it's a team members, it's a people. And for me, I was lucky enough to have my mentor next to me that moment, and I wasn't, I was so lost, like starting agency. He pushed me to start the agency. I like, how? Like I have only one media buyer, like especially again, I didn't know what does management mean and so on. But management, it's actually mentoring, and I already mentor, like I have already experience of mentoring people. He said you need just to like get the guys with the right skills and mentor them. I like, okay, maybe makes sense. So the thing is that hiring, it's always a huge problem. We hire and fire so many people, and so many people we fire too late by giving them chances when we shouldn't do that. So it's like as well new business owner mistakes when you are hiring too slow and firing too slow as well. So you need hiring fast and firing fast. And that's still I'm fighting with that because I'm a nice guy and always trying to like look on the person positive side always, but unfortunately not always people are on the same page with you to look on the same what you're looking. So by that being said, it's a huge bottleneck. And for me, I had people who were in my mentorship and they were like running out of cash. They were not able to continue mentorship, but they're really in love with media buying. And some of them were just like in love with media buying, but not really want to be entrepreneurs. Because look, guys and girls, like entrepreneurship, it's cool, it's awesome, but not for everyone. Because if you're gonna be doing that and hate it, you will like definitely close the door soon. So like better to be honest to yourself and working with some leaders who can bring you to the next level as a team member, and being insecure with the income and so on. And it's fine. You still can build the wealth. You still can build the like successful life. But if you are not enjoying what you're doing, you won't be able to grow the successful business. And you have to understand one thing. You won't be enjoying every single moment because it's ugly. Entrepreneurship is freaking ugly thing. Like when you winning, it's incredible feelings. But to win, you have to go through so many ugly moments that you have to like sacrifice. You have to just chew in it and coat in and move forward. Unfortunately, but it's part of the entrepreneurship. So hiring people, it was really hard, and I just offered to some of my best students, like, hey, would you like actually to join my agency? I'm opening the agency. And like I got a couple of guys from there, and they still working with me. One of them still working with me, and we start like hiring people from my stories. Hey, I'm hiring now. Like we start in the agency, we hiring media buyers, sales people. If you're interested, DM me sales. If you're interested, DM me media buying. And we got so many people interested. And like I was talking, and it was only me before, so I was just like looking, like guys were doing technical stuff like media buying, and I was just hiring by myself. And I like start really like when you have like in our days, like I would say if you're doing the business, most probably you're active in social media, most probably. So you have to think about your followers, about your audience. It's your potential team members, it's your potential employers and A players later on. From the beginning, you're going to be hiring not A players, you're going to be hiring potential A players because you don't have enough cash to pay A players yet, but you have possibilities by inspiring right people, build the players. This is what was on my end. I really started the company in the hard way by having people without experience, but humble and hungry to success and to make income. I got a couple of my friends from childhood, from my city, from Ukraine. I brought them to UAE, Abu Dhabi before I left Cipriani. They start working there instead of me. I brought them after that to my company. I know those guys will do whatever it takes for improve their income. And plus, I know how strong they are mentally. And I knew that I need just to teach them. And the same with media buyers. The same with like when I got media buyers, like I was really, you will like as a business owner, when you hiring, you have as well to understand when you have to grow the managers. Because when you hiring people, and start focusing media buying, sales process, I don't know, CRM, several things in the same time, you are not SpongeBob. You are not able to, squeeze you to like to stretch yourself everywhere. It will never end it in the right way. And plus you'll be hated everything and exhausted. And my mentor said to me, like, you have to now hire managers. I'm like, what do you mean managers? I'm a manager. I'm going to be, hard thing, like small business owners staying small because they don't want to hire, because they want to save the costs, because managers are expensive. It's not already just media buyers or sales. And like you have to sacrifice on profitability, because when I was doing mentorship, 100% of income, it was mine. And here I need to hire, pay out. And now I need to grow managers. How to do that? And I was fine. I never been greedy about giving. So I was about financial part. I was like, I'm ready to make less, but scale. That was always my point. I'm not greedy person. And this is exactly where like, okay, managers, if I will hire managers, it means they're going to be managing instead of me some things. And me as a CEO of the company, I have to focus on how to expand the company. So when you are at the beginning and start hiring people, think about your followers first, like, and find out people who are the most hungry to income and hungry to what you're doing. They have to be in love with the process. They have to be in love with you as a leader, as a person who they following, and they want to be a part of. That's why they like texting you this DM, not because of the finances only. And then you're gonna be just sharing with them everything what you know, everything. You start mentoring them daily basis, like without exceptions, daily basis, calls. Like it doesn't mean that you have to be all day on the call, but you're supposed to be bring attention to them. And you will see directly like those people are late on the calls, missing the calls, giving you excuses. You have to let them go. Done. These people are coming to you on as a beginner. You need to hire on the potential. So this means you should not keep someone and give opportunities to someone who is not deserved it. But when you find out that you catch someone who really the right fit, give everything what he needs, and train him and train him and train him. This is what happens with my media buying managers in our days. They started as a media buyers back in 2020. With my sales manager, he was second person salesperson in the company when I started. And he was my existing client. He was as a client, he said, Anatoly, can I work with you? I like, okay, it was a bit strange. Your clients could become your team members. I have now great media buyer. My client, he was client with us 1 year ago. And he left us. He used to do his stuff with Shopify. And after that, he saw the media buying possibilities. He said, guys, can I join you? Because I'm just enjoying media buying. And now he's working with us for 6 months and he is awesome. And he's our ex-client. And I'm happy, to have him in the team because he now see internally that we were not actually like lazy or like don't do nothing. He's seen that we were doing a lot of work on the back end, which is our clients don't see, So sometimes your clients, sometimes your followers, a job posting, yes, but again, you're able to pay or you're not able to pay yet, because on the potential, you will hire almost for free, for promising of better income later on if they will succeed. Because if they will succeed, means you succeed. It means your company growing. If they fail, your company failing. So you put this kind of income possibilities on the commission base. This is how I done every single team member that time. We didn't have any basics. Right now, somewhere we have some basics on the needed positions like PR department or something similar to technical department, but everyone working on commissions. Everyone responsible for X, Y, Z. And if Y is not achieved, Z will be smaller, and this kind of like win-win situation, everyone knows that they cannot be lazy. Otherwise they will get fired, or even before that, they will not get good enough income. So by building this kind of system of commissions, I was able to get right people, train them, and let them grow together with me. And before I was buying several $1,000 coaching programs for myself only and was teaching them. But in 2021, I realized one thing, that I'm not able even learning that much anymore and sharing that much anymore. And I understood one thing, I have to buy trainings for media buying department separately. I have to buy trainings for salespeople separately. I have to buy mastermind for CEO and so on for myself. And just when I made the decision, we start investing 6 figures a year into the education. So it's a university education for my team members and for myself. And this is where like we start growing really as a professionals, because I help them train their skills, what's needed, not train everything on me. And after that, me just like transparent into them. But when studying the same subject together, this person can listen first paragraph and you will be listening second paragraph, because this is nice for you. This is more implementable for you. This is more implementable for him. But if it's 15 people studying, the puzzle will be going like in the much bigger picture. So that's why like when you hiring, you need to make sure that you promising them the bright future and they're supposed to accept sacrificing together with you at the beginning. And all my friends who started from nothing with one team member at the beginning as well, they were hiring people on potential and growing them as A players. Now we are hiring like with the high payouts if we need it, with A players directly, because we don't have any more time. You won't have later on time to train people on their potential, unfortunately, because now it's supposed to everything. You have responsibilities, you have expenses, so you need to hire, and person supposed to be achieve XYZ instantly in the first 90 days. When you're starting, you have an advantage. You have time, you have possibilities, and you have possibilities to train by yourself and making sure that person is actually doing what you need to be done. And you're able to hire almost for free the right people. And when they grow, they start making bigger impact income ever which they have in their life, because they go like it's a win-win situation. This is what we build. And especially you have to show to these people that focus on what they want. Like with the managers, we have every single year call where we finding out what's changed during the year and what's their next goals, what they would like to achieve, what they would like to change, how they would like, now we're speaking, how they would like to invest, where they would like to invest. Maybe we'll find out that we all together invest in something. So like having this kind of conversation with your management, at least it's allowed company growing, because everyone understands that nobody cares about me in life, but this dude, it's actually doing, and not just like speaking, but actually proving during the years. And I hope and I know that most of my team members, I really hope that all team members stay in so long with us because they're exactly seeing what I'm just said. That my goal, they know that I want them to make minimum X amount and they must to achieve that X amount. It's not their goal, it's my goal. I want you make X amount and I don't care, you have to achieve that level. You know, like I'm not speaking about company revenue because I know if they achieve, obviously company revenue will grow. It's win-win, but I want them feel that win, and then my win will be just smooth going by itself. But by that being said, I'm just improving life of my people in the better possible position.
I love it. We got to wrap. That's amazing. I mean, ultimately, right, what Anatoliy's talking about here is care and investing in folks to grow them into higher, whether that's investing your time and energy or money or like these type of things, right? But investing in your folks to make them better. And those are very foundational elements of high performance leadership. So I love this. So for folks out there, if you want to find Anatoliy, you can check out their website, gsmgrowthagency.com. That's where you can find out anything about what he's selling. You can also follow him on Instagram. He's pretty big on Instagram. So ecom by Anatoliy on Instagram. I'll drop that in the podcast notes. And he's also on LinkedIn, Anatoliy Labinskiy. Is there anywhere else you want folks to find you?
You mentioned all the majority places where I'm answering, and a YouTube channel, Anatoliy Labinskiy, where I'm providing a lot of free content, case studies about Shopify, dropshipping, e-commerce, advertising, and plus mental videos about the financial education and just inspirational stuff. So yeah, Anatoliy Labinskiy in YouTube, it's as well completely free, and you can get a lot of value from there.
Awesome. We'll drop that in the podcast notes as well. Obviously, for us, if you want any one-on-one executive coaching, group leadership programs, and speaking and more, head on over to elitehighperformance.com for all of that. For folks out there, obviously, if you're listening to this, click subscribe and leave us a rating and review for the Leadership Launchpad project. And if you found value in this one, there's a lot of tips here on scaling companies, which we do a lot of work with those. Fire them over to any scaling entrepreneurs in your life. And also, we're here to help those folks. So definitely check that out as well. And Susan, is there anything you want to leave our folks with today?
Just hit rewind on this one. You're going to have to listen to this a couple of times and take notes because this one is absolutely saturated with such incredible strategy. Anatoliy, thank you so much for giving us that hero's journey. There ain't no excuses now, are there, folks? After hearing Anatoliy's story, like, what are we doing, right? I think this really does does justice to the quote that we started with, right? In terms of the possibility thinking. That's what I'm leaving this interview with, is just such an expansion of possibility after hearing your story. So thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Rob, for having me here. And I really, as I was saying at the beginning, enjoying to share as much as I can. And if we would have more time, or next time we would have a podcast, and you would like more actionable steps like what we were talking about, employments or something like that, I wish to share, because my story took quite long, but there are like guys and girls, like experience which you haven't during the journey, it's priceless. And don't be shy to share. And if you were doing something ridiculous or something what you're not proud about at the beginning, it's your journey and you have to share that. You have to respect your back end, because it's what's making you who you are. Be real. Don't try like buying Lambo and being someone else. You are still that guy who were taking umbrellas on the beach or doing something else 5-10 years ago. Be as simple, even with the better life conditions. Seriously, be you and always respect all your past. This is just my message. Thank you so much for having me here.
Amazing. And yeah, for me, I would just say, I mean, obviously that's modeling vulnerability, which allows for folks to create connection. And so it's an amazing tip there. And for me, it's what I took from this is purpose, right? And early, you can see Anatoly was jumping from job to job to try to fill financial needs. But then when his son came, it switched to the purpose of, I need to give him the life he deserves. And that's what allowed the unlock of that. Now we're moving to longer term. Now we're looking at strategies that were going to work. And ultimately, it led him here. So that in itself is something to say. And it's an incredible guest. Thank you so much for joining us, Anatoly. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you all next week.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.